pledge. And then
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amanda's not here to lead our prayer. Does anybody else want to take a stab at it? Go ahead, Steve.
Father God, we thank you for the opportunity that we have to gather here tonight and conduct the business of the city of Falmouth. We pray for each one who is present and those who are not. We look forward to their return the next time. Be with us as we make decisions that affect our lives here in the city. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. First thing on the agenda is accepting the minutes for the meeting for July the 2nd.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from July 2nd.
I'll second.
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Now we're going to open the bids for the water line replacement project. The first one is for Lockard, sorry, Construction Company. Thanks, Megan. And their bid is, so they've broken it down to a cost for each one, so they're looking at $1,850 per line, so it's $1,085. This next one is from Consolidated Construction Services, and their total is $250,000. And the last one's from Allender. My math isn't that great, so we're gonna try and add this up real quick. So basically it comes down to, there's like two options here. Water service connections for Shelby Street from railroad tracks to Main Street. This price includes but not limited to traffic control, the hauling materials, disconnection and reconnection of old and new meter service and backfill. For the price for each one of those is $3,370. And then for the second one, it's remaining water service connections for Shelby Street, 4th Street, Beach Street, and those are $1,775. So I guess it depends on which location and how many lines are on each one, but and I talked to Mark Stevens a little bit about it, and he kind of wants to look over things a little bit more. So my suggestion, you guys have questions for, because I think they have representatives here, if you guys want to ask your questions, but then I think we should table any decision until we can get Mark Stevens in here and then Anthony and Amanda back.
So Consolidated gave us a total, but the other two, what's the total of the other two?
The other one was, or the first one was $185.
Was that 185,000?
Yes. So $1,850 per line. 250,000 divided by 100 would be 2,500 for each line. and then Allender has theirs broken down. And I don't know honestly for sure how many, I just know it's 100 lines. I don't know for sure how many were on the sections that they are talking about, the 3370 over here, which would be on Shelby. And my guess is that's because of the extra work, just because of all the sidewalks and different things up here.
Correct, and the traffic and everything else, yeah.
Okay. And then for the other parts of town, it would just be 1775 for each line.
Well, one thing that I'll throw out at you guys, I'm Consolidated Construction Services. Our bid is to directionally bore all of those lines.
Okay.
So the restoration on the backside isn't gonna cost nearly as much as if somebody goes out through here and starts cutting and trenching and tearing up these streets, right? And things like that. I don't know how the other folks are gonna do it, but our estimate is to drill under these roads, pull it back, and if there's nothing in the middle of these roads that's obstructing our ability to directionally drill it, then it shouldn't be a big deal. We shouldn't even impact these roads, right?
Okay.
If you look at our resume, we did somewhere around, I don't know, several million feet of directional boring last year, in the last 12 months alone. So we're pretty much an expert at that doing that. So once again, you can do it two different ways. You can come through and you can directional bore, which is way less abrasive and impacted, or you can saw cut it, trench it with an excavator, backfill it with gravel, and then have somebody come back in and do all the asphalt and all that kind of stuff, which according to the way that you guys had it out for bid, you want a contractor to replace the lines.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, the city on the backside, is gonna go in and do all the restoration, right? So we just gotta make sure that if I'm gonna leave you $5,000 worth of restoration on the backside, right? And another bid that's gonna open cut all this is gonna leave you $80,000 or $50,000, I don't know what that number is.
We're
I just wanna
having,
make sure you understood how
Yeah, no.
we're gonna approach it.
in the streets that we're talking about, they're all getting paved this fall, which and I think the boring is what they talked about up on, what Joe was talking about up here on Shelby, was trying to have some of that board would be better. Joe did mention that, just because that way you're not having to dig up all the sidewalks and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so it would really apply to almost 50% of those lines,
Yeah.
okay? Because the main runs down one side and what I would call a short service, right?
Mhm.
To where you don't have to go into the road.
Yeah,
The other 50
you have
or
to come
so,
across the
you
road,
have to
yeah.
cross the road and do all.
And that was the issue, cause there's like 203 and Joe and them were looking at doing the other 103, is that was their issue, is that they were having a hand dig. I guess they did one over on Liberty Street and took them like 6 hours because they had to hand dig it all up because all the gas lines run all over the place.
Yeah, and you don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know what's in the middle of any of these roads. I don't know how much
Yeah.
stuff they tore down and threw in there over the, however many years they've been doing stuff
Yeah, I
there.
have no idea.
So,
Yeah.
It's kind of roll the dice, but anyway, I just wanted to make sure you understood how we would approach it, and we wouldn't necessarily be shutting down streets, we wouldn't be really impacting the neighborhoods. When we're done at the end of the day, we load up our stuff and we're done.
I mean, so
Traffic
you guys
flows as normal. And
You guys are basically replacing the lines without digging up everything. You're boring.
when possible, and we hope that
Yeah.
it would be 100% possible to do it. I mean, you never know what you're gonna get into, but that's what our goal would be.
Yeah,
I believe the main is underneath every street though, right? Not in the middle of the street, the water main.
they are.
So you-
Are they in the middle of the street?
Yes.
'Cause I was told
Not,
that they
they're
were-
kind of not straight in the middle. The sewer lines run straight in the middle. The water mains are kind of off to the side, so they're maybe a third of the way over, basically, or a fourth of the way in on one of the sides. We have mapping, but the mapping isn't completely accurate. Sometimes on our map it'll say the mains running down
Yeah.
closer to the left of the road near the sidewalk that way, and it's not, it's on the right-hand side.
I'm not sure who I spoke with, but.
It doesn't sit, the sewer lines are in the dead center, the water lines are
Yeah, I
over.
thought it was off in,
They're not in the grass,
and
it's,
some of them, over here on this side of town, are they? Or not?
I believe it's all under pavement.
yeah, it is.
Uh,
It's all, I think the only thing that's not under pavement, I think, is Wells Drive, and that wasn't one that we put on this list. There's, and that's just, the sewer's not even under the pavement up there.
If it's under pavement, then there would need to be a square hole cut in
Yeah,
to get
to,
to wherever the connection is.
yeah,
You could still directionally bore there. You would have a patch versus a strip.
yeah, which, I
I
mean,
mean,
that was
it's-
one thing when we were talking to the asphalt companies, that was one thing that they were concerned about, was how much of the road we were gonna be digging up, and then how we weren't gonna have much time to let it settle before they were gonna come in and pave by the end of the fall, so.
Yeah, I guess the other part is, in order to get a 100% accurate bid, someone would need to go through and mark where all these lines are.
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Where all the mains are, where everything is, that is a bid going by the information I had at my disposal.
No, I know, and there wasn't much, I know, and I kind of threw it out last second, and that was just because Joe's, after they spent hours hand digging over to get one done, that we realized there was no way they were gonna be able to get all that done before the fall time for us
Sure.
to be able to pave. So, and,
I would say if you get better accurate bid, I guess from bidders here or whatever, you probably wouldn't hurt to put out some kind of map, so everybody can kind of bid on the same thing out there,
yeah,
to make it fair to all three of us. Or four of us, I mean. So.
Yeah, is that something that we can get together and maybe give to them?
yeah, and Mark Stevens, well, I'm gonna talk with him again and see if he can't come down to the next meeting and kind of go over kind of his thoughts on it, with what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, we could reorganize it better and give them access to, because we have the GIS mapping system, and they have a way to share that with contractors, so they can see, what's on I don't think our mapping system's public right now, but I know that we can share the mapping system with the contractors, so that way they can see, but I can't guarantee though that it is on the right side of the street when they say the main, but it is pretty consistent though, like where it is off to the side of one, on either the left or the right side of the middle, but. So we're gonna wait till the next meeting and get our engineer in here and see what his thoughts are on what we're trying to do, and Amanda and Anthony will be back. Do you guys have any
Yeah.
more questions for them while they're here?
No, I think that we should probably try and get that together and get that out to the guys that put in the bids and kind of give them more of a heads
Okay.
up and some better information there, and then we can table it till we talk to Mark Stevens and get them their information out and just make sure that everything's all squared away, and wait till everybody's back at the meeting.
Making sure we have good.
For me, if you guys, the only thing I really need done is for the water department to mark the main
Yeah,
on these streets that you want done, and if that's where the main is, then I'll understand how I'm going to be able to replace that line. So,
okay, and then we have the numbers that we have on here, do you guys have like your direct contact numbers on here?
maybe I can give you mine. I can write it on there. I'm not
You
sure
wanna,
if it's on.
you wanna do that, cause we have,
Sure.
I wanna make sure we have good contact to get in touch with somebody directly.
We're
I know
right
I'm-
here in Pendleton County. We're in the industrial park up there.
Is the one on here, I mean, cause you've
Yeah,
got
sure.
your numbers down, okay, and Robbie.
I'd say it would be better, cause you don't, 6 weeks down the road, you found out, well, I didn't think we were supposed to do this. do
Yeah,
that.
no,
I'd say
100%.
You thought you got a good deal, and you don't have a good deal.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
perfect, thank you guys.
Sure.
Right, Steve, the floor is yours.
First piece of legislation we have
Thank you all.
is
Have a good evening.
Resolution of the City of Falmouth, resolution number 07-1626, a resolution authorizing the City of Falmouth for filing of a funding application and appointing appropriate local government officials and successors in title as official project representative for a Kentucky Water and Wastewater Assistance for Troubled Economically Restrained Systems, that's the KY Waters program. And this would allow the mayor to enter, or to send in that application to get some KY Waters funding.
So I met last week with Mark Stevens, Rural Water, Brittany Dittmeyer was up here, and Christian and Joe and Don, and we are reorganizing our I&I project to try and maximize, the points. It's not just for the KY Waters, but for the state revolving fund too. So we are gonna be adding things, cause they said, right now we just have the I&I, which is the water, the sewer lines and stuff in the city. We are adding in some things for the plant, because if you add in something for the plant, that gets you like 40 more points. We're adding in some things to the pump stations, so they are reorganizing the project, but we need a resolution for me to submit the project once Brittany gets us the new description. And then we met with the ad also, so I met with them Tuesday, and then Thursday, Grace and, what's the new guy's name? I don't think of the young kid's name, drawing a blank right now, but Grace and the other gentleman from the ad came down and met with us and the water districts over at the fiscal court, and talking about our projects. So I just need approval to submit the project once it's reorganized into the system to get funding, to try and get
Will be a grant or what? Do we know?
We don't know, because like with the state revolving fund, a lot of that, at one year they did it and it was all forgiven. So they do it as a loan and they forgive so much. But here lately, a lot of water districts, city municipalities and everyone have been going to their state legislators and things and bypassing the state revolving fund source to get direct line item allocations in the budget, like how we got that money for the transmission line. So now that all these people are jumping ahead, it really reduced the amount of money that they got for the state revolving fund, so they're doing just loans for those. But like I told Austin and Joby, well, I guess we need to jump on the bandwagon and start hitting Mark Hardup and Shelley Funky Furmeyer, to make sure everyone else is jumping ahead and going after these line item things now in the state budget. Then we're gonna do that too, but we do need to try and submit for the other, every option we have. So it's gonna go in for KY Waters, it's gonna go in for the state revolving fund, and then we're gonna start hitting Mark and Shelley up too to try and get us some line item money for some of this other water sewer things that we need. But, so right now they're all loans. That's for the state revolving fund. I think the KY Waters, I can't remember for sure. And then there were two other grants that, they were talking about, that we talked about 5 different funding sources. 2 of them are loans, 3 of them are grants. And then another state option to give us the match money that they have too. So we're looking at all the options, but.
So this just gives you
Me permission to submit it,
apply.
yeah. So I just need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution set 7.16.26.
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
And we can turn it down too, if they come back and all we're gonna get is a loan, and it's just not, you don't have to take it.
You ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
This is an ordinance of the City of Falmouth, an ordinance of the City of Falmouth in Pendleton County, Kentucky, amending Falmouth Ordinance 2026-3 and the budget adopted thereby for the City of Falmouth for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. There is attached to this ordinance a legal exhibit, which is the budget. What we forgot to include on the budget was the scripts funds that we received and how those scripts funds would be spent. You can see those additions there in the highlighted portion with the word additions in bold above it.
And these monies are kept in separate accounts. So make sure they don't get mixed in with any of the utility money. I mean, there's still utility money, but they're set in separate budget accounts. And we're gonna have to amend this again whenever we get the money from the state for the transmission line that we're getting. Cause you have to account for us getting the money in before we can spend the money at all. So that's all that we're doing here is updating the budget to include the money we got from the Scripps Foundation, so we can spend it on the projects for the water and sewer. And we don't need a motion because it's just a first reading.
Yep, this is a first reading.
Next thing, the airport board. So I got a call from our appointment on the board about they've gotten that grant that they got. It's like over a little bit over $1 million or something, that grant. They are needing, part of this grant, you have to have all this match money. And they're in the next phase of this grant project, and so they need, I forget the exact total, it was 5,000 and some change. But we just gave them the $2,500, and so they're gonna deduct that, like take that 25 and put it towards the 5,000, so they need, it's about $3,000 more. So I was coming to you guys to make sure you guys are fine with that. I mean, it's going towards their $1 million grant project that they have going on, so.
So are they needing 3,000 more from us, I guess?
Yeah, to go towards their match stuff. It's not just the city that's giving them match money. I think it's also the county that's giving them match money. So it's not just solely on us to
Yeah.
help them with the
Yeah.
matching funds.
They
but
just need 3,000 additionals from us.
from us to get their
Covered.
total for
Yeah.
the city's contribution to their match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then the county has a certain amount that they have to, I think, contribute also, so.
I thought you said it was 5,000.
It is, but they are taking, we just released the 2,500 to them that we were giving them for this year, and they're gonna take the 2,500 we gave them for this year and apply it towards the 5,000, so it's just an additional 3,000.
I think it'd be 2,500.
About.
What am I missing?
No, you're right, my math is not that great. So I need to make up to that total, it's a little bit over 5,000, I forget the exact number, I had it written down on my
Okay.
calendar at home, but it's around
I just thought I was
3,000.
missing something.
No, I know it's a little bit, it's right under 3,000, I think it might be like $2,700 and some change is the additional that they need.
So the airport brings a lot of money into the county.
And I mean, it's a joint board that we're on,
Yeah,
we have an appointment on the board where it's a joint thing that we're doing with them, so. You guys good with that?
Sounds fine to me.
You guys wanna do a motion and a second, so we can cut them a check?
I'll make a motion to give them 3,000 more.
I'll second.
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Alright. Then we have our department reports that you guys were given.
I see on the sewer collections, they jetted South Liberty, Jefferson, Berkeley, 4th Street, and then Main to Shelby. Where? I mean, Main to what part of Shelby? Just curious.
That all the way down to that end of Shelby. They've had some hiccups doing this end of Shelby down here. But they had some hiccups, I think they jetted it already, they had some hiccups with the camera.
Yeah.
Trying to, and then now the camera got picked up yesterday because it's not working, so now we gotta wait to get the camera back. They don't know what's wrong with it. So they called the company and I think Christian met them yesterday to drop it off with them so they can troubleshoot what the issue is with the camera. But, so we're kinda on hold on camera and anything else, but they are jetting, so. You guys have any other questions or anything about any of the department reports?
So going back to the sewer, when they jet them and everything, did they, say if there's any major problems with any of the roads that we're paving that they'd have to take care of?
Not so far. They've gotten the jetter through everything,
Yeah,
but they haven't been able to camera it all now because
yeah,
their cameras hit some snags. But, other than the things that we already knew, like some of the taps stick way in, but all that stuff can be fixed without having to tear the road
Yeah.
up. Like, we can line it, they can go in and fix it. There's been nothing that they have found so far with any of the camering that they've done that needs to be dug up and fixed. And they've been able to get the jetter through everything that they've been jetting, so. Do you have anything you wanna add about your department? Marty, do you have anything you wanna add?
The only thing that probably wasn't on the report was we have been active with ICE and that task force, and we've made what they consider operational level. Basically, what that means is now we're eligible for the $100,000. It's not really a grant; it's more of reimbursement for equipment and stuff. So I'm in the process of, the paperwork's about that thick, so I'm in the process of doing the paperwork. I'm not sure how quick we'll get the money, but they said it will come.
And they're not just going around just going after random people on the street. These were people that were
Yeah, ICE is
facing
the-
criminal charges or have been convicted of their criminal charges already? 'Cause-
I wasn't present when they made it, but I do know that ICE was the lead on the investigators. Basically, there were 3 of them in our area, and we assisted them with the arrest of them.
Yeah, ICE was going to get them. They included the city police to go with them, so now they've reached their eligibility, whatever that they needed to do to be able to go after that federal money that they're giving out for that, but. I know that their committee didn't meet because 2 of your people are on vacation. Did you guys?
we didn't.
Okay.
I forgot all about that.
Okay.
I showed up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, no, they are on the beach, different beaches, different places, but I'm assuming, are both on the beach right now. They're both in beach areas. Do you guys have any comments, council comments?
So is there a way that maybe we can get with Joe? Cause I've had a lot of feedback here recently that with our stream or what have you, that the audio's pretty bad on it. And I've looked over a couple of them and the audio's been like.
Are you talking about that, Joe?
Who's Joe?
I think he stepped around the corner.
You wanna go grab him? Hey, Joe! When you said Joe at first, I thought you were my mom.
Yep.
Joe, Public Works, I was like, he's like, what stream?
So I was wondering, because I got some feedback that the audio is kind of hard to hear. Is there a way that we can upgrade our audio for this and maybe upgrade to where maybe not only do we have better audio, but like in the event that Joe's absent, we can do that ourselves and either we can send it to Joe or maybe Joe can set it up somehow so we can live stream it maybe. But something to where we're able to do this, you know, on a consistent basis with better audio quality and the visual quality's fine, it's just the audio quality that I've heard about. So I just wanna see if we can look into kind of bettering that just for, you know, cause I know there's a lot of people that do watch it that they can't physically come attend due
Yeah.
to, you know, medical issues or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could end up putting microphones and speakers so that when you all talk, it's heard through the whole thing, and then the microphone really pick everything up without any problem. And then people sitting, no matter where they're at, they would be able to hear the audio over the speaker, and that would take care of that.
And we do have iPads sitting around here that aren't being used. We could
Yeah, cause this
start,
is
that's
just
just a
my
cell
phone.
phone. I mean,
Yeah.
we could just start using one of our own iPads.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that that's a Windows 11 computer there, I could add a Logitech camera up on top that will pan and record,
there
and
you
if
go.
someone's going, and then it will record, and we could live stream with it as well.
Yeah, I'd kinda like to look into that if we can, just, you know, kinda,
I can get something written
Yeah,
up.
just give me some prices.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure can,
alright, I appreciate it, Joe.
not a problem.
Any other council comments? Public comments? How are you, Mr. Moreland?
About saying, I just have one question.
Sure.
Is there, or it should, where is the department monthly reports? Why aren't they part of the minutes?
They'll be included in these minutes.
Please?
They'll be included in the minutes I type up. They're just not gonna be approved and ready to go until the next meeting when they vote them through. But if you come, whatever day that is,
Here-
August,
here you
the day
have it.
after, I mean, I'll have it all in together.
Then all the department reports would be included?
I got everything but the fire department. They didn't send me one, but I have every other one.
Oh,
Here, do you want my copy?
well, that's, I just, before, just the minutes I got, didn't have anything about the reports.
Oh, you want the attachments? I mean, we could start uploading on our website the attachments that go with our minutes, like anything that's been discussed, like, so this paper that we're getting, the stuff that we have up here. And then the hope is that we can start also sharing it on the computer screen once we get a keyboard and a mouse that reaches as far. We can start putting them up where you guys can view them as we're, that was part of the getting the TV so everybody can start viewing the stuff that we're doing. But we could start including in the minutes that we put on the website, the attachments that go with the meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, the other thing, I really like the idea of you all having a microphone.
So you can hear, yeah.
Because I have a hard time hearing.
And we had discussed, I mean, if you wanna go ahead and price getting some of those, the headphones for
Yeah.
anybody that would need, like, we could have like two.
I pay for a pair and a half.
I mean, like, we talked about getting like one or two pairs that we could have that people could borrow while they were here if they had a hard time hearing. So we could, if you wanna add that into the quote too.
Yeah, we would just have to put a couple of the microphones up there, and then the headphones would be the receiver off of those. But yeah, we
Okay.
can do that.
Ms. Turner, do you have anything? No? All right, well, we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
All right.